Hello, 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 everybody. We are live and welcome to the Cars 3 official first full-length U.S. not teaser trailer. I'm used to saying teaser trailer. The trailer for Cars 3. It's so exciting.
And it was so good.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh.
And we've got so much to talk about. As always, I've got pages and pages of notes. I've got some insights to share that also can be mirrored from when I was at the Cars 3 press event that we can talk through some extra insights there. We can, I'll show it this fast. I've listed all of the Easter eggs for the movie because I have found them all, but we're not going to reveal them all here today.
No.
But there is one that I found in this trailer, and let's see if anybody else found it.
I think I did.
You think you did?
We didn't even talk about this.
We did not. We haven't talked about it really at all.
I know.
So welcome to everybody in the chat. I know earlier today we had some people. So Dark Wolf of Wales, it's apparently 3 a.m. where she is at.
In the UK.
In the UK. So hello and welcome. Hello and welcome to everybody else. We've got Angry Bird Stream. They've been here before. Ice Boy, Disney 11, Pixar, tons of great people that are in here. Leave your comments throughout directly in YouTube, or you can tag us on Twitter at the Pixar Post, and we'll answer any questions or comments that you have. We'll be asking some questions back and forth. But holy cow, what a whirlwind day from us releasing our post of the background of some of the behind the scenes from the Cars 3 press event to this trailer coming out. There's so much to talk about. Hello, Disney Film Facts. Hey, BTA FBF. I'm not even going to try. Bertha Ruiz, welcome back. But before we get totally kicked off and start talking about the trailer here, we, of course, are joined by a special guest. So I will turn it over to Mr. Jay Carlin. Say hello, sir.
Well, hello. Thank you guys for having me. If you guys are unfamiliar, my name is Jonathan Carlin. I'm one half of the YouTube channel Super Carlin Brothers, where we talk about Pixar, Disney, Star Wars, all that fun stuff, Harry Potter. But our favorite thing is Pixar, so I'm super excited to be here and talk about Cars 3 with you guys tonight.
Heck yeah. You did it earlier in Instagram Live where you kind of did some reactions to the trailer. So lots of good content out there. I'm sure between all of us, we've got some great comments. But again, like I said, we got Disney 11 Pixar yelling, "Hey, brother," in the chat.
Yeah.
Hey, brother.
Yeah, there you go. And then Isael Prado says, hey, to us, and yay as well. So awesome. So Dan the Pixar fan, who is actually driving home from work right now. He's trying to get here in time. He's a usual for these Hangouts. He's going to try to get on before we can sign off. But yeah.
Let's get into it.
Okay, let's absolutely do that. So let's just get first reactions. Before we even talk about ours, I'm just going to talk about a couple that are out there. Of course, I just had this positioning and I just lost it there. But almost everybody in the chat, in the forum, is saying that it's one of the most gorgeous things they've ever said. I said it in our trailer write-up that this might be my favorite Pixar trailer of all time, which is
high praise.
Huge bar that's already set. But it might absolutely be my favorite. Other people have said in the forum that it's not just their favorite. Yeah, okay, so Pixar's biggest fan. This was amazing. The best trailer for any movie, not just Cars or Disney or Pixar.
Film in general.
Film in general. I mean, that's huge praise. It hit on everything for me. Canadian Pixar fan says, wow, amazing trailer. I can't wait to see Pixar redeem the Cars franchise. It looks like they're really playing with the classic sports movie genre, which I really like. So what were your thoughts when you first saw it?
I was in awe. I absolutely loved it. I loved it. And I mean, I like the Cars franchise, but this changed it for me. This trailer.
Okay.
It changed it. It really, and I rooted for Lightning in the first film. Mm-hmm. In the second one, it was a fun film. This one, I really am rooting for him. Maybe because I feel like we're now about the same age as Lightning probably would be.
Probably, yeah.
You know what I mean? Mid to late 30s. You just kind of, you feel like you're your prime is maybe
Yeah.
fading a little bit.
My prime already?
No, I'm just, but you know, like athleticism.
Yeah, for sure.
Not that we're athletes, but but I really loved it. And I love Lightning's new decals. We'll get into it.
Yeah, we'll get into all those as we break it down and look and go through it and look at it.
I guess the first thing that I would say, the one word I would say is wow.
Yeah, absolutely. How about you, Jay? What were your first thoughts and reactions after you watched it?
Oh, I loved it. I thought the Florida Speedway, they opened on that. That was like, whew, that is a really cool looking thing they have designed, because that just doesn't look like anything. I mean, I had chills at a few points. I love when the little kid screams, "Lightning!" Like, I was like, I don't know why I'm getting chills, but I am. It's so cool.
Yeah.
But I felt like this one, it felt a lot less dark and gritty, like the other trailers have felt thus far. Like, it was a little bit funnier, a little bit lighter. You get to see some of the other Radiator Springs friends. That was good. I felt like I had maybe a better understanding for what the story is, maybe not the full story, but yeah, I was excited to see it. I'm really hyped for this. I'm kind of excited. It just seems like they're really. I'll talk about this a little bit more, but they're trying to, like, I don't know, redeem the Cars franchise a little from Cars 2, which I know not everyone loved.
Yeah. Interesting, in the chat, a lot of people are saying, first off, that they absolutely loved it. They're agreeing with you, Jay, as far as saying that Florida 500 is a gorgeous design. Other people in the forum were saying it kind of looks like Nemo when they're coming into Australia, just like the grand, big structure of everything.
Mm-hmm.
A couple, Mackenzie Ebby is saying that who's screaming lightning they think is Owen Wilson's son.
Oh, that'd be cool.
We'll have to look into that. Wow, we're already getting in there. Should Cars 3 win an Oscar?
I don't know.
We've seen 2 minutes and 24 seconds.
Who knows?
So,
Oh, you've seen longer.
Finding Dory wasn't even nominated. That was stupid.
That's a whole separate topic we can get into one time.
Right now.
Angry brother, you must have a third brother that's an angry brother here.
I have a third brother, and he is an angry guy, but I doubt that's him.
Yeah.
They said, does Chick Hicks have a big role? We'll talk a little bit more about Chick Hicks. I got to talk to Bob Peterson about it when I was at the event, so we'll talk a little bit about that as well coming up. But yeah, all right.
What were your thoughts on it?
I had the same thing that Jay was saying. I had total chills, and I am not afraid to say this. I did tear up, not a lot. I got misty. And it was really all of that whole opening when you're hearing Nathan Fillion, who voices Sterling, the new owner of the Rust-eze Racing Center.
Mm-hmm.
Great voice.
Oh my God, so phenomenal. So when he's doing that opening there and you're seeing the clips of Lightning, and then when Lightning says, "Mr. Sterling, what is this all about?" I can feel it. Like, he's being nice about it, telling him, "Sorry, you gotta stop." Right. Well, because he's saying you're brand damaging. Yeah. You're hurting yourself at this point. So it kind of like how Shaq does Gold Bond now.
That's what Lightning would be doing, though, if he listens to him.
That's true.
Yeah, that's true.
That's true. And we will talk about those products as well. We're going to talk.
The funniest one was the protein powder, or the goatine or whatever.
Yeah. What was it Lightine?
Something
like that.
It's Bolt 5000 engine goatine.
Goatine.
Yeah. Yeah. So I was absolutely blown away. It gave me everything that I wanted. And knowing a little bit more about the film, I can say confidently that it's a great trailer, because not only does it build on the suspense of the movie, it tells you more about the plot, but it does not give away even close to everything. I mean, you can put things together if you've read some of the books that have already been released and you've kind of been watching closely, you can kind of get an idea for some of it, but it doesn't give everything away. And if you can walk away with your heart beating a little faster and you're saying, "Wow, you have chills, Jay," and I'm getting misty-eyed, that's a pretty darn good trailer, if I can say so for myself.
Yeah, good trailer.
Yeah, absolutely. So yes, the first note that I had written down as far as my observations, by far, same as what you already said, Jay, with the opening of the Florida 500. Just what a design. I actually would like to pull that up.
And there's actually some buildings in the background that were like spark plugs
exactly
or like
what I'm
lug
going
nuts
for.
or whatever nuts and bolts are in a car.
We are on the same page. So let's just make sure.
It was very Miami-ish.
Yeah, it totally feels Miami. Jay, can you see this just as a confirmation?
I can see it.
Okay, yeah, perfect. So yeah, you've got this awesome, look at this just swooping building, but here's that.
Kind of reminds me of the bird's nest that was the Beijing Olympics.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, it's definitely like that same kind of design. But yeah, there's the spark plug building right there in the background, and you've got other like emblems, hood ornament kind of emblems and designs. Just gorgeous with all the colors, all the ocean colors and everything like that.
So I have a question for you guys.
Yes.
In this scene, and we know Pixar reuses models and such like that and rigs and whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think any of those boats in that harbor happen to be from Nemo?
Oh, interesting.
They would be older, but do you think
the ones that were in Nemo
that just sat in the harbor?
Yeah, let's think about this. So the ones that were sitting in the harbor, these look more like yacht.
Oh, they more like
yacht-like
yachties, yeah.
than more like fishing vessels.
I mean, weren't there a bunch of boats and cars too as well? They could just be reusing.
That's true.
Oh, that's true. In
Yep.
like the Monaco.
Yeah.
I hope
That's
we have.
true.
I hope we have the Lightyear blimp up here.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah.
But one thing I did want to talk about with this, with the carification, as Pixar calls it. So just remember this building here, and then you've got the hood ornament. I'll just go back to stop sharing. But I wanted to share one insight when I talked with Jay Schuster, who's production designer on the film at the Cars event. So I asked about the carification of the world. I said, Cars 2 was an explosion. Everything was carified. There was, nuts and bolts and gears and drive shafts and everything everywhere. And he said, yes, we kind of even went maybe a little overboard with some of that. He said, so we turned it back in this one. And
Kind
so
of
it's
more like Cars 1.
It's going to be more like Cars 1. There's still going to be the cloud patterns of like the tire tracks and then some of the rock formations that we've already seen.
Yep.
But they definitely said that they toned it down. But what was interesting is he said that they took it almost too far. And then Lasseter came back and said, well, what can we carify in this scene?
Yeah.
So it was like
You have to find that balance.
Cars 2, they might have went. Cars 2, they think they might have went too far. And then now this one, they're wondering if they pulled it back. Well, he's not wondering that because but Lasseter was like, can we throw a little more in? So
interesting.
Just an interesting little fun fact there. Okay, so somebody's commenting. We'll get to that too. Sterling's office. He's got a picture of potentially Miles' Axelrod. Other people are talking about the products. Which ones are their favorite? I've seen lots of that. So I thought that was a cool way to tie in kind of one of those facts, was talking about the spark plug building and the carification of different things. The other thing is as they're cutting from all these different, like almost every time they're cutting from a building or a character to another race, it's a different race.
It's a new scene.
Yeah. So I counted up 7 different racetracks. Now I was doing this pretty quick, but Florida 500, Copper Canyon, the Copper Canyon Dynaco 400, Mood Springs 350, which is in Georgia, the Los Angeles International Speedway, Grand Ole Oil Company, Bumper Save, Gears to Glory 450, which is where we get our first look at Chick Hicks, and then the Dynaco Light 350, which is where Mater's wearing that sweet bolt hat.
Yeah, I love, one of the things that I think I'm most excited about this one, and I was talking a little about it earlier, was just that it seemed like I'm excited to see a Cars movie that is like, it seems like it's primarily about racing. It's like Cars 1, it's like about a race car, but it's not, it's mostly about him, helping this town and kind of becoming a better person or car. And I was like, Cars 2, it's like, it's sort of built around the race, but it's mostly the spy movie thing. And it's like, yeah, race car movie about racing. What do you know?
Yeah.
I'm excited about that. And yeah,
it is nice to have that feel of it back.
yeah,
for sure. So while, obviously now we get into, after that moves forward past that intro there, I'm going to start sharing this again real quick. We get past where we see this intro. We get to, here's some racing. There you go, Dynaco. And then here's the products.
Yeah.
yeah.
The George Foreman grill. I love that.
I know. The Lightning McGrill. And I was trying to read everything on it. So we've got the Lightning McGrill, make a mistake. And it's, obviously like the George Foreman grill, which is essentially the all-time like leader. It's got to be one of the all-time leaders of sales of that kind of stuff.
I like the ka-chow mix too.
Yeah. What is this, do you think? Is it a cereal?
It reminds me of like a brownie mix.
A brownie mix?
Cereal. That's what I would have thought. But
yeah, I thought it was like a cereal too. And here's your, as you mentioned, Jay, your Bolt 5000.
Oh, the Engine Go team.
Yeah.
Oh, the Mr. McLean. That's funny.
Super advanced pro Drivotics. All natural. I was looking between the different color bottles. I was hoping they were going to be different scents, but they all just say multi-purpose car cleaner. I was hoping like they'd say like some funny name for the different smells.
It looks like it's lemon lime flavored protein or whatever.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
it does say that. Yeah, lemon lime. And you've got Mr. McLean. It's like, you've got the eraser bar, you've got the regular cleaner and a wax.
The eraser bar. That's hilarious.
Uh-huh.
Oh boy.
So, okay.
I
Okay.
love this new Lightning McQueen. I love it. I love it. I love it. And
Okay.
I hope I can get a die cast that is shiny just like that. I freaking love that decal.
I'm gonna
I'm
come back.
sure they will have every toy imaginable for it.
Oh, they're gonna.
But I want it
yeah.
shiny like that.
Yeah.
I'm obsessed with it.
It is super
like
cool.
obsessed. I
It
think
is-
it's amazing.
It is super cool. I
The
won't.
design of that, whoever like designed or the team behind that design, I love it.
Yeah,
I think it's modern, and I love it.
I will say that whoever, agreed. Whoever designed it, awesome. I'm not going to say anything about how he gets that wrap, but it's cool.
Is he racing in it, or is this just sort of like his looking fancy?
All right, fine. So we'll talk about it. So not a whole thing. It's essentially they're saying that his design might be a little dated, so they give him this fancy new wrap because cars don't paint anymore. They just throw on these wraps.
Oh, I see.
So it's really cool. But yeah, the look is just awesome.
That's
Mhm.
cool.
I mean, you can't get much better than that. See, people keep talking in the comments too. It's hilarious. How do they use those spray bottles? They don't have fingers.
Right.
We're just not supposed to think about that.
Yeah, well,
Refrigerator question, right? That's
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Just throw it on the refrigerator. What was that originally from? Where that came from? It was what?
What was Lightyear?
Was it Andrew Stanton?
Yeah,
Oh,
it was.
the term. Okay. sorry.
Yeah, the refrigerator thing. It was in
It
one of
was
these
a Dory.
hangouts.
Yeah,
It was from Dory. That it was along the lines of the oxygen glove. I think it was in that episode.
Hashtag, that was genius. I'm sorry.
Coined that phrase.
Still patting yourself on the back with that oxygen
I like
glove.
that.
Somebody's asking how long the movie is. It's essentially an hour and a half. I mean, they're usually all right around an hour and a half. So I think it's a little under. Somebody's asking Easter eggs. Again, yes, they're all there. There will be one for the next film. We saw 45 minutes of the film again, starting at about 20 minutes in. So it's really weird. We kind of skipped the first 20 minutes, saw 45, and then it stops from there. But within that 45-minute period, you find all of the Easter eggs.
Interesting. Okay.
Yes.
Well, that's a good tidbit.
Yeah. And somebody said, does anybody know where the Pizza Planet truck is? We don't want to go down fully this road. But if you go to the Road to the Races tour, where they're touring, I can't remember how many cities, is 20?
A lot.
A lot of different cities, where they have a life-size Lightning McQueen, Cruz Ramirez, and Jackson Storm. They're showing approximately 15 minutes of the film, and you will see the Pizza Planet truck at that event.
So I did see an Easter egg in the trailer.
Well, we shall see, because you might be wrong. There is one that might look like a
Maybe.
particular other car.
Maybe.
Okay, so what do we think as far as like next things in line here for the trailer? Let me go back to that. We'll share a couple more here, a couple more moments. So yes, the online racing school, hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
He's got tires in the background. I do love. Okay, here's that the Mood Springs 350. I love the grass here. Look at the lighting, the way that you can see like the grass cutting.
Mm-hmm.
I need to see. They have almost every type. They have boats, planes, trains. We've seen them everything in like all the movies. I need to see somebody cutting the lawn. Yeah.
Yeah, we know. I mean, we've seen tractors, so that they're around.
Right.
Yeah.
Here's how they wax a car, even if they don't have fingers.
No fingers.
And I do think it's great that they have mud flaps.
Yeah.
Because it makes me just think of one of my favorite. Whenever I think of Mac, one of my first lines I always think of is, "What? Did I forget to wipe my mud flaps?" Yeah. So I always think of that one. We've got another, instead of a Carnauba wax, it's a Carbuna wax over on the right-hand side here.
Mm-hmm.
Lots of good products. What is this all about? Yeah. So then...
Yeah, what is this all about? And they cut to the new cars.
Yeah, exactly.
And then him crashing.
Yeah. All right, so let's talk about this. We've obviously seen this crash in many forms before, but there's one element of this that I want to talk about.
The smoke underneath.
Yep. So here's another little tidbit I can give you that we'll expand on in one of our upcoming podcast episodes, is about that smoke specifically. So this is the first time in any Pixar film that they actually use the dynamics of actual like wind and resistance, where they're actually correctly physically moving that smoke how it would in an actual live environment. So if you see, it doesn't show it as much here, but in the slow-mo version where they show him they show kind of some of it here, but where you really see him tumbling over to the backside here, when he does the full roll, the way the smoke like curls up and under, kind of like how a mushroom cloud does, all of that, the thermal dynamics of that is actually 100% accurate. And that's the first movie that they're doing that in.
Interesting.
There's also some other scenes.
That's some mathematics right there.
Oh, without a doubt. The simulation and effects team had their work cut out for them in this movie.
Most definitely with the mud scene, I believe.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We'll get to that for sure. Okay, so I think this is where somebody was saying they think they might have seen the Miles Axelrod, which if that's the case, it kind of might set him up as more of like that, like I'm a high end. I don't know if that's really who that is back here or not.
Yeah, I don't see that, but I do see what appears to be like Cinderella's coach.
That's the one that I spotted.
Okay.
Oh.
So Cinderella's coach in a gold formation here. So pretty cool.
That is cool.
There are other Easter eggs in Sterling's office. We won't talk about those. You don't see them here.
Okay, I was like,
you haven't even told me.
Yeah, that's correct. It must be a surprise. So as we're rolling through this, obviously, like you said, like I said, we've seen that crash scene a couple times, but any other observations that either of you have? I don't want to just keep steamrolling past all this.
I liked in the crash scene, I don't know, the way he's flying through the air, it almost gives you like the sense of like how much lighter a stock car is.
Oh yeah,
like a regular car. Like you can kind of like, because like you think cars are really heavy, and they are, but like if you've seen a stock car crash, that is how it can look. Like it's like, man, why is it behaving like that? Shouldn't it be too heavy to do that?
Right. Yeah.
They just kind of fly.
Yeah, it's kind of like, yeah, I like that. You can really get that feeling.
That is cool. I hate to say cool because it's a crash, but
yeah, because it's crashing.
But it's cool because it is how it is. You're right. That's a great observation.
I actually had an observation, but it's about the vocal talent in the trailer.
Yes.
Did either of you guys or anyone watching feel like Sally and Cruz Ramirez's voice are similar sounding?
Very.
Okay.
Are you talking about later on where all of a sudden you're like, wait, was that Sally starting the sentence and then Cruz finishing it?
Yes.
Yeah, it's where she says, "Don't fear failure.
Yeah,
be afraid of not
when
having."
Mac is going over the bridge, kind of like San Francisco-ish.
Right. Yeah. So don't fear failure. Be afraid of not having the chance. And then it's
and
almost
then
like
it goes to Cruz on the beach.
I used to watch you flying, on TV, flying through the air. You seem so fearless.
Yes, it sounds.
They're very similar.
Very
for sure.
similar.
And Angry Bird Stream is agreeing they sound very similar there.
Very similar.
So somebody else is asking about the crash too. Is what we see here the full crash? No. And in fact, I'll even talk about that. So Brittany from the forum mentioned something really shocking were the parts that were added to the crash scene. I thought I had seen everything, but no, there's more to watch, and lightning is almost destroyed. I felt emotional when the ambulances were approaching McQueen after the accident, and his friends are there too. So,
I did too. Yeah, you go ahead. Go ahead.
I was gonna agree. Like, you see the crash and you see like how bad it is, and it's very like, oh my god, that's awful. And for some reason, like when you see the ambulances there, you're just like, oh my god, I didn't know it was that bad. Like, I don't know how it couldn't be. Obviously, there should be like doctors or whatever there, but it like added like another layer of seriousness to it.
It added like an emotional like distress for me. Like when you see like the bird's eye view, and you just think of like yourself, my gosh, and then you see Sally, Mater, Luigi, and Guido right there, and kind of like the ambulance people kind of keeping them away. It's just like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah. From seeing that full scene, it's hard to watch. It's longer than what they're showing you here, and they let it simmer. And you're
right.
Yeah, I mean, it the one thing that
did you moist up?
You do a little bit, because you don't want to think is this the end? Like that's, I mean, the thing that's cool about it, they don't hide it. There's no secret. It mirrors kind of obviously the crash that Doc Hudson had. So you can't help but think, is this the crash that's going to end his career?
Mm-hmm.
And what happens from here? What's next? And how can he recover from this? Because he's messed up. And it's hard to watch for sure. That top scene where the ambulances are coming in, it's emotional. It's tough. I mean, and I agree with Brittany when she's saying that. And then the announcer, we can only hope that today this wasn't his last race. So definitely a powerful moment. The teaser trailer, though, with the ultra slow-mo makes it a little more suspenseful too. It's not as ultra slow-mo.
When it happens.
When it happens there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Just seeing what else here. Ballistic Cars and Wall-E, Chick Hicks role. We will definitely talk a little bit more about that. So don't worry, we'll get there. Is it true that Cruz and Sally are related, that they're cousins? I don't know. That's an interesting question. I guess anything's possible. It hurts a heck of a lot, doesn't it?
Probably not.
When Crash doesn't change everything. Yes, okay, and somebody's saying and seeing it in 3D. So I will say there are a lot of moments in this movie that are going to translate perfectly for 3D. Again, we're not, we don't throw ourselves in the camp of like we're huge fans. We see it both ways for sure.
Mm-hmm.
We usually end up preferring the standard, but I think this
3D.
one is going to have some phenomenal moments for 3D. Not over the top, not in your face. There will be a couple of those moments. But yeah, it's really cool. Somebody's asking, Crash, is it day or night? So the one thing that I don't know, because we haven't seen the whole thing, it still could be a dream sequence involved, what we were predicting early on, what all of us were kind of predicting and potential. It still could be that he dreams back to that where it's more gritty looking. So I don't know. Can't answer all those. And I'll leave that the big one, I'll leave it kind of hanging out there for you.
Yeah, don't say everything.
Yeah, got to keep some things right there, right? So, okay, let's talk about, I'm going to have to screen share this one because after we get to the crash again, so we get that. I also love the fact that we're talking, it's like 40 seconds in and we get the Disney and Pixar logos.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's the scene.
Yeah, look at this. So we got the ambulances coming in. We've got Sally and Guido and Luigi and Mater and hopefully one of the police officers from the first film that they're reusing. A lot of the pitties and the crew. So yeah, this is where the announcer's saying, is it going to be his last? We also know in one of the Dutch trailer that when he slams off the TV, it's a picture of Chick Hicks.
Really?
Yeah, in the Dutch trailer that he slams it off, it's Chick Hicks, and Chick Hicks is an announcer for RSN, for the
racing
sports network.
Yeah.
Okay.
I believe is what it is. So you can assume that he's not pleased with something that Chick Hicks is saying, but who knows? We'll get some other angles of these pictures up here. It's kind of cool. He's got pictures of the Radiator Springs gang a little bit further. But Sally comes in. Now, what do you guys see here?
I see him as somebody covered in gray.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know, is that lightning?
It may or may not be.
Yeah, like the trailer leads you to believe it is, but like, what's with the gray?
Right. It does leave some questions, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
It does. Yes. Who is that?
Don't say anything.
I'm not saying anything.
Do you know?
You're darn right.
Don't even.
All right. I won't say.
We'll go to the next scene.
Yeah. So people are saying, the animation is so realistic. Yes. I mean, throughout this, you can't even believe how realistic it is. In the director, producer, and co-producer with Brian Fee, Kevin Rear, and Andrea Warren, they talk about that they could go even further with the realism, but they had to dial it back. Not because of the uncanny valley, as they call it, but it's essentially that the reflections were getting so realistic that you were seeing their eyes reflected in their hoods. So it was like looking like they had 4 eyes.
Oh.
So they had to dial some of that back. And then they said even in the Rust-eze Racing Center, it was like too many points of light. So it was getting distracting on where your eyes were supposed to look in the scene.
Because it's like an all glass center.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
All glass building.
Yep. So cool to see that. Okay, so let's talk about the Rust-eze Racing Center, because I think that's about where we're getting to after they take off here. Yeah, so she says, how you feeling? We get to see, in the distance there, we see Mac kind of going off with, you can assume lightning in there.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And feudal resist change. We've seen that in some other ones. I love the Christmas lights in Mater's like little hut here, his house.
Well, I love that that's also like a Mac screen.
Yeah, right.
An Apple,
like
an
an
Apple
Apple.
screen,
Yeah,
I should say, not Mac, Apple.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, it all works. Yeah, but it's confusing.
Because
when you say
just said Mac,
the
yeah.
trailer,
It's a Mac in a Mac.
Yeah.
right. So then, you've got some of the pictures of the gang here. Somebody asked if it's snowing in Radiator Springs. Sure kind of looks like it, doesn't it? I actually don't know.
I don't think so. I think it's just
I think that's just
the light.
The way the light is on it?
Yeah.
Light is.
Yep.
Does it snow in the desert?
Maybe. Yeah, I love the lighting on his shack though.
Look at those clouds.
Okay, I'm going back.
I know that's like not what you're supposed to probably be looking at, but
hey,
look at those clouds.
You got stars
Look at
back
that
here
sky.
too.
Oh, yeah.
That's good dinosaur right there.
Yeah.
Yes, it is good dinosaur.
Yeah, for sure. I got nothing. All right, so one last chance. So we pull up to the Rust-eze Racing Center, and I kind of had a thought here, but I want your guys' thoughts here. So what are your thoughts when we enter the Rust-eze Racing Center? Julie, what are your thoughts here?
It's very sterile, kind of lab-like.
Yep. Okay.
What about you, Jonathan?
Well, my first thought was I was happy to see it because it kind of gave me a where is that big number 95 you keep seeing lightning staring at? Like, I know that's probably where it is. It also kind of got me like, this is like the house that lightning built, sort of like that's what they call, I guess, the stadium in Indianapolis, like the house that Peyton built or whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like this has been the effect of Lightning McQueen on Rust-eze brand.
Right.
It's kind of my thought. But otherwise, I mean, yeah, it looks very clean, very scientific.
Yeah, it's like a lab, like you're expecting they're building like microprocessors and everything in there. The pitties are all in white and everything. Now nobody talked about this from the event or anything like that, but the first thing I thought of when I was watching the trailer today is, as much as this is the Rust-eze training center, it's because of, like you said, Julie, with the sterile nature of it, it's almost like it's a hospital. Because McQueen is coming here to train, so it's almost like he's going through rehab. And
you're right.
Yeah,
like
so it's like
physical trainer.
Yeah, so it's kind of cool.
Therapy,
it's kind of cool that it like mirrors not only a high tech place, but in a way it's a hospital-esque type environment as well. This is where she calls him her senior project. two undertones there. As she goes up the ranks being an instructor,
right,
she would be more senior, and then also because it's throwing it that he's old.
Right. I thought it was odd that she says that, and then they immediately cut to this scene where she like sinks into the beach, and is like, yeah, like, I'm training you, but he's the one who knows how to drive on sand.
Well, yeah, because he's had the training from Doc and driving on dirt.
Oh, well, I mean, I get it.
Yeah.
Lightning can do it. It just seems like it's weird that she says she's going to train him, and then she can't do the thing.
And then it shows her like kind of failing.
Yeah.
Yeah, like like this.
Yeah, right.
Flipping through the scene.
I love the line though. The beach ate me.
Yeah.
So I think that's
I
coming
thought that was cute
right here.
Yeah.
So also, how ridiculously awesome does that sand look?
Very good.
Everything.
Like Good Dinosaur, my favorite scene in any Pixar movie.
That's your favorite of any?
Yes, it makes me cry so much.
Yeah.
But it reminds me of the sand.
But okay, so then look at, like, again, the simulation and effects team, like how it's really just coming out in waves like it would with tires. Like, as you go through that and you're burning through it. That's just so cool. The beach ate me. Everybody in the comments in the chat, cutie pie, Cruz, she's so cute. I love her.
I definitely think she's going to be a fan favorite character.
Yep, for sure. Here's another just awesome look at that at the Florida 500 there. So this is where we get the news that Jackson has broken the the fastest lap ever recorded.
Like on that track, you have to think.
That day, yeah.
They're all different,
Correct, yeah. But with it being the Florida 500, that's the event that kicks off the season, kind of like the Daytona 500.
Oh, okay.
So I think it's probably like saying, like, we're getting started right into this right now, and already he's breaking records. So yeah, I'm gonna go back
with the reporters. Are they at the Florida 500 or are they at the?
It looks like the Rust-eze Racing Center, but it could be outside of the.
Yeah, they both kind of have that like glass building effect. Yeah, it looks like the Rust-eze.
Yeah, I think so, with the trees in the background.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
But the one observation here. Notice the door goes down. He's got that Lightning McQueen smile, and then all of a sudden he gets hit. And you can tell, like, with this, like, he's getting overwhelmed now. It's almost like the reality's hitting him. This is probably the first time that he's seeing these reporters again, and they're immediately bombarding him with, did you see what's happening with Jackson Storm? He's breaking all these records. Are you ready for this?
But did you notice he has different decaling?
Ooh, let's go back. Go back.
He has the original decal, not the original, but he's got the round Rust-eze on his hood.
Right. Okay.
So it's before he has my favorite.
Yeah. Right. The right. And then they cut to this next scene, and they make you almost want to think that, like, that's the same scene cut together. But now you can see that the top here is that gold one that you like again.
Right.
Oh, the magic of editing. Yeah. So then you got that. I hadn't noticed that.
That's why I'm here.
So yeah, this is where Lightning is saying, "This is my last chance, Cruz. Last. If I lose, I never get to do this again."
See, that line makes me think that Nathan Fillion basically tells him, like, this: if you don't win, we're dropping you. Kind of like there's like there is something on the line.
Yeah, and I think as far as from the movie, it probably has to have something like that, as far as to have something on the line, so that way we have a sense of like loss associated with it.
He's shooting for something that he's.
Yeah, because if he doesn't train, how is he gonna? But
being number one isn't enough.
But something that I can't answer either, because I'm not speculating on any. I mean, I am speculating here. I don't know this, but it's like, how much control does Sterling really have over his career, or could McQueen truly make that decision on his own?
Well, I bet that's my personal guess is that like he is going to be threatened with, if you don't win, we're dropping you. But in the end, he will decide that anyway for more noble reasons, which we can discuss here in a second. We'll just keep going. Though.
Yeah.
Okay. Ooh, it's thundering.
Yeah, we got some thunder going on.
Not here.
All right, so we are now into some of the different Demolition Derby Crazy 8 scenes.
Yes, which
this is where you think you saw an Easter egg, right?
Yeah, which this scene, it was actually one of the stills that they released today. I think it was on your wrap up post.
Yeah, I'm gonna actually just so that way everybody knows about this as well. I'm going to share this, and if you guys, Jay, you can see this, correct? As far as like
yeah.
So this is in case anybody is not familiar, if you go to our gallery, this is under Feature Films Cars 3. We've got a breakdown of a bunch of different sections. So photos from the press event, posters and logos, concept art.
Yeah, if you click on any one of those images, you'll see like 30 pictures.
Right. So then the screen caps, if we click in here, so just some different observations. Is this the image you're kind of talking about?
This image. I'm so excited for this. That mud, I'm freaking out about.
Mm-hmm. And you should, yes.
I love it. And I also like the fact that my prediction on Lightning McQueen being muddy with a different number was correct.
Okay, so for that, I must come back to you because.
And yes, I did think I spotted the Pizza Planet truck. And
we'll go back to it in just a second here. Not in the still, but
not in that still,
in the trailer.
In the trailer.
Okay, so yes, you are owed a lot of credit. When we came back from the auto show event and they had released that the teaser that had the additional footage in it. You were absolutely right. You had like a vision all of a sudden, and you're like, wait a minute. I believe that it might be that he covers himself in mud, and that's wiped off in order to do that. And we can see in that still that you're talking about that, he did for some reason cover himself up.
Mm-hmm. And then he has a number. I think it's 15.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So.
I mean, you can see lightning right here in this shot too.
This one right here.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So yeah. So you can see how coated he is. But tell me when I should be slowing down here on what you're seeing.
Yeah, keep going because
Grand Ole Raceway. Oh yeah, I thought this was cool too. I mean, obviously you want to see him racing on this again, on this loop and the dirt track again where he first learned. He's got a different design here again.
Yeah. This will be his third in the film.
And now you see he's going 196, and you've got Mater and Sheriff there.
Isn't that our first look at Sheriff?
Yeah.
I think in any of the trailers, that's our first look.
I think you're right there. Yep. Dark Wolf of Wales. Sheriff is here. Yep. Absolutely.
I love Sheriff.
How can you not? Okay, so here's your 95, and there's your indicator that you've got the white pitties back there again.
Yep.
Yeah, awesome. Okay, I'm going to, right here real quick. So Giovanni, who's been on some of our Hangouts before, noticed this. He said, one thing I noticed was a quick shot of number 42 Dinoco Hauler driving away from McQueen. I guess we can expect a heartfelt scene with Cal Weathers talking with Lightning about retiring, as the rest of the old racers can't keep up with the new ones. Based on the look on his face, that might be, might be a good observation. Obviously, we can see it's Cal Weathers, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, his name's right here on the trailer with the look on his face. I think Giovanni might be onto something there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yep.
Now, if you go to the scene right before this, very quickly,
and that's Giovanni pointed. I think what you're going to talk about too, right here.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's one of the brothers, Rusty or Dusty.
Yeah, absolutely. You can see here's. I don't remember which one's which.
Yeah.
But yeah, I believe this is Dusty is the van, I believe, and then Rusty is the car. I could be totally backwards, but regardless, this is the front of the car, and then this is the van. Yes, you.
Don't drive like my brother.
Don't drive like my brother. Yeah, it's one of the things that was not fully a challenge for them, but something that they had to deal with because you do get to see Rusty and Dusty. Dusty confirming Dusty is the van. So yeah, you do get to see them, and obviously Tom Magliosi, who voiced the car, had passed away.
Mm-hmm.
So the two brothers, they had to rework some lines based on what he had already previously recorded, and then his brother was able to improvise as well and kind of fill in some of those gaps too.
And in your post that you released today, you had noted that Doc.
Yeah. Let's talk about some voices for a minute. So Doc Hudson. One of the questions that I had asked, I chatted with Bob Peterson and Scott Morris and a lot of the other story folks. And one of the questions that I got to ask them is about, hey, in one of the earlier teasers, we heard Paul Newman's voice, Doc Hudson. And I said, there's no way that was a recast, was it? And they said, oh, absolutely not. It was actually a very cool thing that they did. They had the editors work out and write out every single line that he had ever recorded, that Paul Newman had ever recorded. And they took those lines and made a way to fit into this movie.
Oh, that is awesome.
Yeah.
Cool?
So it was unused lines from Cars 1 that they had to make work and fit into Cars 3.
Man, that is they did that in The Force Awakens with Obi-Wan.
Yep.
In her Force vision, they cut out the middle of some word he says where he says Ray. It's like,
Yeah.
was that Alec Guinness? What?
Yeah, it's pretty amazing how they can do, how they can crop it and do the different things they can. But it was a challenge because of Paul Newman's pacing and how he talks. It's so unique. But yeah, so they did some great work there. I'll still hold off on Chick Hicks. Because we're gonna see him coming up here. Yeah, we'll see him in a second. All right. So we see Rusty and Dusty there. Let me go back and we'll zip forward a little bit more here.
Yeah, this is the part where the sound, like the voices, because you saw Sally at the beginning, and I was still hearing her voice. So then when I hear Cruz, I feel like they just sound so similar.
They do sound very similar, and I'm actually not 100% certain. I don't know if anybody else has an opinion. I don't know if Jay, you have an opinion. Is the first voice Sally and the second one Cruz, or are they all Cruz?
Oh, I'm just talking about when we see Sally and we see Sally actually, Bonnie Hunt, physically speaking with her character. That voice sounds like this, which is Cruz talking.
Right.
Because we see her talking in the scene.
Right. So this is, Cruz now is... Reminiscing, yes. She's seeing them flying through the air. She used to get emotional about it. A couple other people in the forum mentioned that this was the point that got them going. A quick observation we can talk about too. Notice the blue lightning bolt.
Yeah.
Okay, she's got the blue as well. That is her activation of her voice assistant. Lewis Hamilton is the voice of that, who was in Cars 2. But that's her, essentially her Siri. And when the lights are active is when her voice action system is going.
Oh.
And the blue lightning bolt, I won't tell you how it gets there.
Yeah, don't see anything.
So pretty cool. So she's talking about that.
I love this scene.
Look at this.
Look at that.
Woo! Look at the tires all ripped up.
And I want a muddy one like that, a muddy die-cast like that.
Yeah.
That's cool.
They need to make it look wet like that too.
Yeah. And at an angle where he kind of looks like he's propped up lower on the left side.
Very specific.
I'm very,
this is the
lightning!
Yeah. Yeah. So
look who's here.
I'm here, guys.
Oh, wait a minute.
What's
and
going on?
and he's still in his Disney store best.
Literally darted right in.
Yeah.
Didn't waste a second.
That is awesome. Well, we're glad to have you.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. So, how was work?
Excellent. Thanks for letting me join in like 45 minutes in, or almost an hour in. Oh my gosh.
All right, so let's wrap it up. And
I actually listened to the entire thing. I'm all caught up on my way home, so I'm good to go.
Perfect. So just so you know, you've got some fans in the chat here. Disney 11 Pixar. Hey Dan, Sophie's Kingdom 2. Dan, Angry Bird Stream. Dan, yeah, you got.
Yeah.
Oh, Ice Boy, my dude, Dan.
Oh yeah, Ice Boy, I like it.
So there you go.
Awesome.
The Polish gent, Dan is looking quite dapper.
Thank you.
He
They
tries.
do call me Dapper Dan there.
Well,
Yeah.
I think you have to if your name's Dan and you're associated with Disney, right?
Yeah.
So Mackenzie Ebby, who is he? That's Dan. That's Dan Taylor. Dan, the Pixar fan.
Yeah, who is he? I guess she hasn't been on your hangout before.
I believe I've seen Mackenzie on here before.
Yeah, Dan posts. Dan has a website, and he posts like Pixar merchandise every day.
Yeah.
A different thing from his collection. But right now, he's doing a wrap up on his trip
Yes.
From last year.
From a year ago.
Yeah.
And now I'm starting a new one starting tomorrow, and then I'm going to be doing that wrap up, hopefully not a year later.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and I was saying Mackenzie Ebby, and it's Eby. So thank you for clarifying. And yeah, we've gotten quite a few nice Dynaco shirts. Thank you very much. Got it while I was at the studio, so I was happy to have this one to add to the old collection. But you can get one super similar to this on the NASCAR site. On so if you do want this shirt, you can pick it up. You can go to NASCAR store. On their website, we've got links to it on our site as well. But they sell it there. All right.
Let's get back to that screenshot.
Okay, yes. Julie wants to go back to the old screenshot here where we can see this. So I will also say you're going to be hearing in our posts, in our podcast, and everything else. So I expect you guys that if you're here, you're going to start listening. But there's going to be a lot of conversations about this scene, the Crazy 8 scene at the Demolition Derby. There's going to be a ton of details about the mud. Holy cow, there was a lot of challenges. How do you make mud where it's wetter in the middle, so if it's more wet, it's going to be more sloppy. If it's on the edges, it's going to be thicker
and drier.
Yeah, it was an amazing technical challenge. But what did you want to talk about? Was there anything else?
Keep going because it's going to be a different scene.
Okay, keeping going.
I'm pretty sure I saw the Pizza Planet truck in the audience.
First off, awesome to see Smokey get some more views of Smokey and everything.
Yes, in one of these scenes.
Okay. You tell me when.
Okay, let's talk about this for a second.
All right. Okay, so Dan, just since you joined, what was your first thought when you get to see the tractors again?
That's classic. You got to put the tractors in there. It was essential.
Yeah.
And like Cars 1, they had the whole thing. The gag was great. Cars 2, they amped it up a little bit with the giant whatever it was, with him and Mater. What was that thing? It was the bigger one, whatever it was.
Colossus.
So they had to step it up a little bit. And then here it looks like there's going to be this whole stampede, but it looks like a similar gag. But they always have their spin on it with each movie.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, the cow tractors, that was definitely a high thing that people were excited to see again. You got to love a good callback.
And I think that was the cow tractors were created by Jay Schuster, the production designer.
When
he was working on the original Cars film.
Yeah, he designed them. He took a head of a cow and literally formed it into a tractor and just extended the nose. I do love all the details, like when the tractors go up, their ears like flap.
Yeah, wiggle. I just like their lips.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're so silly. And the lens
just came to my mind. Mater introduced lightning to the whole tractor thing. I wonder if somehow lightning, because it's lightning and Cruz this time. So I wonder if now he's kind of passing this on. I don't know if there's like this kind of lighthearted moment that they get to share, and then this all happens. I don't know. I just thought of that. As well.
Yeah, I don't know.
It is
That's
a little
good
bit
point.
of like, I don't know. I don't know. It's almost like they go back to Radiator Springs or on their journey, maybe they come across a field of
Right.
tractors and he's like, you got to try this. I don't, I
That's
kind of wondered the same thing.
Oh man, it's odd. I thought to me it looked like it was like a training thing. like, ooh, see if you try, you have to like be able to dodge stuff.
or that, yeah.
Or
Or maybe
Oh.
doing kind of jump starts that. Maybe it's all. Maybe they are doing the kind of the funny, let's watch this, but then it also ties into, okay, now let's get out of this situation by maneuvering and all that kind of stuff and make
Right.
it a situation.
Yeah, absolutely. And then a couple comments out there as well as far as, I just lost it. It flew past and I can't remember what the heck it was now, of course. This always happens at one point. Oh, just comments about the music. The music was fantastic throughout it. I wouldn't guesstimate that it's anything Randy Newman.
What do you guys think about the new song? Do you guys listen to it on iTunes or see it on Dancing with the Stars
Oh no, I did
when it
not.
was released?
Yeah, both. Yeah, actually.
Yeah, so ZZ Ward and Gary Clark Jr. they did their song "Ride." Ride. That's my version.
Yeah, I like it.
That was close.
Yeah, I dig it.
It's a catchy song. Obviously people are obviously comparing it to some of the other, like Dark Wolf of Wales, yes, but she like Real Gone by Sheryl Crow. She says that one wins for her. And then comparing it to the Rascal Flatts, Life is a Highway, which was originally sung by who knows it? Who originally wrote Life is a Highway? Because it was not Rascal Flatts.
That
It's a single guy,
Yes,
and it's like a classic rock guy.
sorta.
is it a country guy or a rock guy?
Not Neil.
No, he's not country. He was almost like an adult contemporary, kind of like mid-tempo.
First letter.
T. It's my name.
Thomas.
It's Tom and then Cochran. Tom Cochran.
Oh man.
Would never have guessed that.
Yeah, he was essentially a one-hit wonder, and that. Hey, Sophie's Kingdom 2 just chimed in Tom Cochran, which I know she got it ahead of time because there's a little bit of delay in the chat. So
Yeah.
There you go.
nice work, Sophie. So yes, Tom Cochran, Caleb Winslow had it as well. They have the benefit of Google in front of them though, too.
Yeah, we don't know.
You were talking about the song, the music. Did you guys have any other thoughts on the music from the trailer?
Not necessarily. I mean, because trailer music, to me, I always know that it's either from something else or it's created specifically for the trailer. There's companies out there that make music specifically for trailers and teasers and commercials and things like that. And usually it's from that kind of thing. So I don't usually get too attached to it, but it did fit the mood and it gave the emotion it needed to do.
Yeah, absolutely. Question's been coming up a couple times about will there be a next-gen Rust-eze racer? It could be. I don't know either. What do you guys think? Will there be a next-gen Rust-eze racer if Lightning does retire?
I mean, I think if it's anyone, it's probably just Cruz, right? I mean, I guess I know Cruz has been like the Dynaco
Right.
thing, but
Which is interesting because it makes you be like, well, wait a minute. Why wouldn't she just naturally take over that role?
right. I mean, there could be even like we've been saying, it's turned into such like a scientific, tech-driven building. And if he does meet with Cal Weathers, maybe Dynaco is still of the old ways in a way, and that's like maybe it's like Rust-eze is kind of going this new path, and we want to stick with that. I don't know.
Right.
I have an idea. What if
You hear some thunder?
Yeah, it's like thundering like bananas here.
Kachiga. It was lightning outside as well.
How appropriate.
Yeah. I think, what about if Cal Weathers goes to Rust-eze?
Cal Weathers.
Because we know that Cruz Ramirez ends up with Dynaco.
Right. That's an interesting thought. That's
Cruz
a possibility.
and Cal Weathers is Dynaco sponsored.
Mm-hmm.
So what if he goes to Rust-eze?
Or what if they retire the sponsorship altogether?
Of the Dynaco or the Rust-eze?
Of the Rust-eze.
No, you can't do that. That's like their moneymaker.
Hey, you never know. Maybe Lightning is just the face of it and he takes it with him, kind of like a ball player retiring a number.
No, because I don't think Gold Bond's going anywhere. Shaq's still got that.
Like,
I'll make it go for, so I'll talk about that again.
But we see like Cruz and Lightning racing at the same time, right? So like at that point, they can't have the same sponsor. So there's still room for Lightning to retire and then Cruz to move over like at the end of the movie to Rust-eze.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You know what my question is?
That's true. That's true.
What, Dan?
My question is, does Lightning McQueen win in the end? Because
Oh my gosh. Yeah, right? I got it.
it's driving me nuts. Because in the first one, you think he's gonna, and then he doesn't, and there's this whole lesson. In the second one, you see him win all the time. So because he wins so much in Cars 2, would him winning this be that much of an impact? Or are they going to do a new spin on winning like they did in the first one? Like, that is what's eating me away.
Wait, does he like, wait, in Cars 2 though, it's like the big race is like he, you know, he has done a lot of winning, but you don't,
Yeah,
like,
but you see him win like a few of those courses, don't you?
well, like the World Grand Prix stuff?
Yeah. Don't you see him win a few of those?
I guess so, but there's only like 3 races. And like, do they have like a final? Does it like really? There's all the crashing and stuff and all the explosion. Ah, man, I don't
Right.
have to watch cartoons.
At the end, they bring it back to Radiator Springs, don't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it weird that I
Yeah.
don't want him to win in the end?
Yeah, that's weird.
Obvious.
Really?
I want him to win.
I would love him to win too.
Oh,
I
see,
want
'cause I
to
kind of.
see him win the piston. I want to see him overcome, and then step down and go out on top. Great.
Well, see, because I kind of want him to take over Doc's role, and I want him to let make Cruz win, because I want him to
What he did in
make
the
Cruz
first
realize.
problem.
So remember when I told people about the old going into our gallery and looking at some of the artwork? I will tell you that there is something that you can spot in one of the behind the scenes photos. I'm not even going to say it, but it's major.
No, I'm not gonna look.
So there you go. So Sophie's
Save it.
Kingdom is with you, Julie, on Lightning. A lot of people are saying they want Lightning to win. People are confirming.
It's not that I don't want him to win, but I just don't think I don't want him to win. It's
Here's-
not a bad
It's
thing.
not that I don't want him to win. It's just that I don't want him to win.
Yeah,
I see what Julie's saying, because winning is the obvious ending.
Right.
That's what they're leaning towards. And so I understand from that point. But then on the other sense, we've never, even though we have seen him, maybe if he did win a few of those Cars 2 races, they didn't make a big deal out of it. So we've never had a triumphant win from Lightning before.
Right. Like they did the whole like Rocky thing in the first one a little bit,
Right.
where, like he made the right decision.
Right.
He was going to win, but he doesn't.
Right. So he doesn't because in Cars 1 he doesn't win. In Cars 2 he wins Porta Corsa.
Okay, yeah.
But I want to see him win big.
That's right. He won Porta Corsa because all the other guys were in flames behind him, and he kind of just zipped through, and he had no idea what was going on.
Right.
Yeah.
yeah, he didn't win the first race.
Right. That was the one
Francesco
Mater
did.
screwed up for him.
Yeah.
That's you're right.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I could see both, but it'll be really interesting. Pixar's not one for the obvious, so it'll be interesting what they do.
Right. Okay, you want to go back to this real quick?
Yeah, get to the chick Hicks.
We got to do this before our power goes out. It's hailing.
It's like a hailing monsoon here.
Oh gosh.
All right, so we should be coming up to. You didn't. Where was your scene that
Oh.
you thought you saw the Pizza Planet
Well,
truck?
keep going, because maybe it's. Well, I guess it's
It's
not.
past that.
Oh well, I thought I saw it.
Okay, but we do need to talk about this, eh? Chick Hicks. So Chick Hicks, announcer, as we know, for the RSN, the Racing Sports Network. The one thing that people have asked to confirm a couple different times, I asked Bob Peterson. It was confirmed ahead of time, but I wanted to hear it as far as from them that Bob Peterson is doing the voice for Chick Hicks this time. So Michael Keaton will not be back doing that role.
Which is interesting.
It's very interesting. I didn't get into as far as why or anything like that.
No.
I didn't want to, press on that for any reason. And I don't know this, but I just got a sense that he doesn't have a major role. So it might be that, essentially that it was just,
Could be scheduling conflicts.
it could be a scheduling thing, with him doing Spider-Man and some other projects that he's got going on. So you never know. But it didn't sound, I don't get the sense that it's a major role, but that is pure speculation. Kachiga.
Did my house rumble?
The floors are shaking.
Yeah.
My bass is going crazy over here.
Is it?
Yeah.
Nice. So I don't know. I mean, we could see a lot more from Chick. That's just a speculation fully on my part. So some people are saying, dang, that kind of stinks. But, again, speculation.
Did you hear him in your clip at all, TJ?
When I was there?
Yeah. Like, did you see in any of the footage that you saw?
Here's the radar, by the way.
That's the.
Let's see. It's,
Yeah.
we got a red bar right over us there. But yeah, no, I didn't see anything from Bob Peterson, Chick Hicks in the 45 minutes that I saw.
Okay.
Oh well, that's kind of.
Well, no, I mean there's still another like 45 minutes of film.
Minutes of film, yeah.
So obviously also in that screenshot we get to see.
Oh god.
I can see the lightning strike, and then oh man, it's so appropriate for talking about Chick Hicks.
Better duck and cover.
All right.
That scares me.
So
Someone's asking where we live.
We're in Michigan.
Yeah, we're in Michigan, the Detroit area.
Yeah. So and other people, Mackenzie Evie is saying that Bob Peterson also did Chick Hicks in the video game. So obviously he has some experience and background with it.
Oh, so we could actually check that out and see what he sounds like as.
That's true.
See, it's going to be in this scene.
Okay, you think you see it. Dr. Damage, you get to see the ambulance. Awesome.
Does it say Rambulance on the side?
It does.
That is hilarious. Okay, I thought I saw that earlier.
So yeah, look at
maybe
how.
not.
Here's your awesome effects team hard at work. We got Mater in his awesome Bolt hat. Some more races. We're cutting back to beginning scene.
More Demolition Derby.
And I'm guessing you think it's this guy.
No,
No?
it's in the audience.
Oh, in the audience. Interesting.
Oh, maybe it was a different scene, but it was in there that I thought I saw it earlier. So.
So let's think about a couple other things here. If there's anything else, what else do you guys have observation-wise? Anything that we didn't touch on? Dan, anything else that you wanted to cover since you're in the fold now?
No, I know you've been going for a while. I just wanted to echo everything you said earlier on. It's just about the excitement and about the chills and about the tears and about the awesomeness of the trailer. Totally agreed with all that. Julia agreed that Cruz and Sally sounded super similar. I was thinking about that threw me off, but then I could tell once I paid attention. It was on like while I was at the Disney store. We have a Mac or an Apple in the back room. So when I got there during break, when I was leaving, it was always on. So I got to see it like on loop basically. It was fun to just kind of see it over and over again, really soak it in. But no, just so excited for the trailer and so excited for the movie. Even more so excited for the movie.
I'll also jump back in. Mackenzie is confirming that no, I was reading it backwards, that Keaton played Chick even in the video game.
Oh.
So we don't have a way to go back there.
Gotcha.
So it's not like Tom Hanks' brother.
Right.
Yeah, where Jim Hanks does all the extra voices.
Yeah.
What's the connection with this and Cars 2 is a question. There's not a whole lot of connection between the two films. They kind of leave it.
It's kind of like different day.
Yeah.
Different week.
Yep. Also, Lou. There was some screenshots from Lou that were out there, which is going to be the short film that plays in front of this, directed by Dave Mullins and produced by Dana Murray.
Did you guys see it?
Yes, we did. It is a very cute short. It touches on, obviously, playground bullying, as we have seen before. And I'll at least, just since it's relatively easy and quick, I'll just at least share that as well. So back in the old gallery here. So we'll go back to home. What do you guys? So short films. Oh, it still didn't show back up. I must not have. I don't
think you opened that one.
Well, that is sure a bummer, isn't it? I can do that right now. But just pull it up.
I'm excited for Lou though.
Yeah. Anything particularly about it?
Well, just like the message and everything about it.
I think with the original, that tiny little sketch. You remember the very first announcement was that small sketch, and we really had no idea what it was.
Yeah.
It was like an Instagram live sketch, not live sketch, but a little video. From that point on, I was very intrigued. So really, it's the concept and the character design is what really intrigues me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like just the way they're like portraying the character, like how it's going to be designed looks so interesting. Like I'm sure that it lends itself to a lot of creativity.
Yeah, and what actually surprised me was in one of these stills that they released today is that
We'll go to that now.
Yeah, it shows the character like looking at Lou. Well, there's this one, like interacting with him, and I thought it was going to be more secretive.
Me too. That took me by surprise.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be more in the background, like these shenanigans were happening that Lou was causing, but they didn't know why. But obviously, the bully is staring him right in the face. So I'm assuming that's the bully. He kind of looks like a punk.
Yeah, that's JJ. We'll definitely be
bullying Lou. Oh my goodness, what a punk!
And JJ is actually it was named after Dave Mullen's mother.
Correct. Yeah, it was his mom's initials. So I talked to him about that. I'm like, was there any inspiration from TJ? You know?
Yeah. Yeah, Julie and TJ. That's it. Yeah.
The second J there. Maybe he's a fan of the Carlin brothers.
Maybe.
The super Carlin brothers.
Super Carlin brothers.
Right. So that's pretty much what I wanted to cover off on. I have a slight sense of that there was something else that I wanted to touch on, but now, of course, I can't remember what that may be. So.
Yeah, he got 2 hours of sleep last night.
Ooh, boy.
Yeah.
Him.
Heart was still going, man.
You know, you gotta write a post. You gotta write a post.
Yeah, that's true.
I'll be up till who knows.
You must go live, you know.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's
he got like 2.5. I got 5.5.
We're looking pretty good, right?
One thing, I don't know if you had mentioned, if I missed it while I was running from my car into here. During the demolition scene, not like the action scene, but there's that shot of McQueen where it's the mud has come off, and everyone in the audience is looking kind of stunned. It almost seemed to me that this whole time they didn't know that this was the famous Lightning McQueen under that mud, and then somehow the mud comes off, and that's almost like the reveal moment there.
Oh, I bet you're right. I bet that's even why the kid's screaming.
That too. I didn't even think about that. But it almost seems like that's almost like the end, and there's almost this quiet, stunned silence of, holy cow, that was Lightning McQueen that whole time. Yeah, that was it.
Yep, right here, right?
Yeah.
Totally.
That is a good explanation because I was wondering about their eyes, just like what they look like surprised, but it's like shouldn't they be cheering? Didn't he? It looks like he just won whatever winning a demolition derby means.
Yeah. So I think that's a reveal moment at the end.
Yeah.
So,
okay, I like that.
What I will say about that scene, it is a masterpiece. It is.
You said the choreography, the direction, everything.
Choreography, direction, the lighting.
The characters.
That is one of the scenes that will be phenomenal in 3D.
I like Taco.
I've already bought some of the toys for that scene, so I can't wait.
Real?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, you had like the plastic smash 'em up ones.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. They're awesome.
And I'll get the track sets of that whole. They had track sets coming out of the whole derby scene. I cannot wait.
Yeah. So the thing I wrote in our post today about like the behind the scenes look at it, not only is that scene a masterpiece, every department touches it. You can tell that it has story aspects in there that they had to be really in on it. The direction, like I said, the effects team had their hands full with it. Animators had to be choreographing everything exact. But the really cool part is that don't let the action sequences that you're seeing fool you. You get a lot of radiator springs in this, and this scene is counterbalanced by really the thing I love about it too is it's the first Cars movie gives scenes room to breathe, where you really get to know the characters, and you're like
a lot of truthful moments.
A lot of truthful moments, heartfelt moments where you're having these big reveals and all these kind of things. Those same things are happening in this movie too, which is why it's going to resonate so well with fans. and why they're going to want to see Cars 3 if they loved the first Cars. And even if not, I mean, Cars 3 is going to be a fantastic movie. I mean, but yeah, it counterbalances really well. It gets a good level set between the action scenes and those more soft touching moments. Everybody's gonna love this movie.
I hope. I'm glad to hear that, because I was hoping that was the case, because those are some of my favorite moments, are those character moments and that development, and those, you know, those moments are the heart of these Pixar films, where you really get those feels, and I was hoping that would be the case. So awesome. Yeah.
People are talking about, is there a way we can win tickets to premiere? I don't know. Good luck.
Yeah.
Sometimes they do early, like Monsters University, they did an early screening for college students. Toy Story 3, they did an early screening. Inside Out had some early screenings. So just, you know, Google it once in a while in your area, type in Cars 3 advanced screenings. That's how I found some in the past. And sometimes they do them, so you never know.
Yeah, definitely keep an eye out for it. People are talking about Mrs. Fritter. Yeah, Miss Fritter and her, what is it, Stacks of Doom. Stacks of Doom. I mean, she's an awesome character. Yeah. So I think that's about good, right, guys?
Yeah.
Sounds good.
All right. So as we do our normal sign off, let people know where they can find you. Dan, go ahead. Since you didn't get to do your intro, give a little bit of an outro. We already kind of said what your site is, but where can people find you?
Yeah. So I'm at danthepixarfan.com. And like Julie said, I do Pixar product reviews, toys, collectibles, books. TJ mentioned vacation write-ups. I do all that kind of stuff. So definitely check me out on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and I will be posting every day.
Fantastic. And then Mr. Jay Carlin of the Super Carlin Brothers.
Yeah, you can find me on YouTube at Super Carlin Brothers, or on Twitter and Instagram at John Kerlin, JONKERLIN. We do lots of different Pixar theories, especially, but we also do a lot of talking about Disney and Star Wars and Harry Potter and all that stuff. So if that sounds like something you like, make sure you check us out.
Yeah, absolutely. Great stuff from you guys. We love watching every bit of it as well. People are cracking me up, saying, thanks. Love the live stream as always. People said it's one of the best. People said they wish Dan was here earlier. So, well, fine. I guess Dan can run these. Let's see. There was another one here. Dang, I can't believe I've been here over an hour.
I know.
Yeah, it's a pretty amazing at 2.5 minutes, 2 minutes and 40 seconds or whatever for the trailer that we could be here this long to talk about it.
We could go longer too.
But hey, we threw in some other insights. We threw in some other insights and things about the film and the Cars event too, so that had it in there. So people are signing off with your tagline there, Jay. See you in another life, brother.
See you in another life, brother.
So had a fun time, surprisingly. Come on, Mackenzie.
Surprising.
Yeah. Also,
we're a lot of fun.
Yeah, we're a lot of fun. Also, just as far as so everybody else knows, with these YouTube live events, a couple times we've had people contact us afterwards and say, hey, where do our comments go? So how the YouTube live event works is that the live chat only happens while it's live chat. Once it goes and it's done and we hit stop, it goes into our video feed. That doesn't have any of the comments attached to it. So just so you know, for people that have been asking where those kind of go when this is done, that's where those go.
Last time too, yeah.
Yeah, there are some hacks that you can do and some other things I looked into, but
Yeah, what are you gonna do?
Go. Yeah, I mean, when it's all said and done, with a couple thousand comments, people aren't gonna scroll through them anyways. So, yeah. Anywho, thanks again for everybody that joined. Thanks again to all the people that told us they were going to be tuning in and from across the globe. Thanks again, everybody. We had a blast. Ka-chow, says John Fitzgerald area. So ka-chow is, I think, a fantastic way to sign this off for everybody. So thanks again. And of course, as you know, we already said we're going to be doing some Cars 3 news, more podcasts, more posts, all about the Cars 3 event, getting into a lot of details from the film. You've got a lot to look forward to. So be sure to stay tuned to PixarPost.com all week for the latest Pixar news. Bye-bye.
Bye.